You're watching Suckprofessor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by
James.
James. Haha, just kidding. Oh, your arms are looking a little better. I like what you did there. That's smart. That's resourceful.
Yeah, Neosporin.
Neosporin does a lot. Yeah. Plus, we can eat finally, so that's good to see. We're gonna be okay, buddy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Suckprofessor, the greatest shot-by-shot review channel you'll ever come across. We are gonna break down episode 3, season 7 of the
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead. But what's it called? What's the name?
The Cell.
The Cell. I predicted that it's about, guess who? Daryl.
Daryl, yeah.
Yeah, that's because that's the easiest thing in the world to figure out. So, spoilers, just so you know. Also, if we get some of the details wrong, let us know in the comments, but don't be crazy about it. We're just kind of a communal effort here. We need you to fill in the details, but we're here to have fun and not get all... No, this is not science professor class. Let's suck professor class. Okay, you ready, James?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Here we go. Screenshot 1, and it opens up, and when I hit play, I thought we were watching the wrong thing.
Yeah, it's like a bad VHS copy of an 80s show.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then we saw it, it said, who's the boss? Which I don't have a shot of the text, but there he is. It's Tony Danza.
Was it the 80s or was that like the late 90s or early 90s?
No, it would have been 70s.
70s?
If it wasn't the 80s, it would have been like late 70s.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, it's who knows? I mean, look at this guy. He's got the 80s hair when I covered the ears.
I mean,
Everybody...
I didn't watch it when I was a kid, and I was born in 83.
Yeah,
so...
well, men in the 80s and 70s had Vulcan ears, and so they had to cover it with their hair out of shame. That's
and
why...
the women had to use towels.
Yes, because she has a Vulcan head, also known as a cone head. But it was funny. It was weird, and just because I was for a second thinking, what the fuck is this? You played the wrong thing. But nope, we back up and we see Daryl's jacket, and of course it's not Daryl. It happens to be the other Daryl.
And you can tell because his hair doesn't look like it's been caked with motor oil.
Yeah. He's yet to go to the motor oil salon. It's Dwight,
yes,
right?
So I was kind of hoping for this because we know that because Daryl is now inside the Savior's compound, that it kind of gives us an opportunity to see how the Saviors live from his perspective. And we don't really have a good insight on how Negan operates, how his compound works. All we've seen is Rick assault his outpost, which they mistakenly thought was his main compound, but really wasn't.
Yeah.
So this is our first look inside, basically.
Right, so we're getting our first peek at a big base, which I'm sure we're going to see more of. Like we saw Terminus, we saw Alexandria. Like when you finally get a new location, you kind of know the season's going to develop in some of these areas.
Right.
We assume, it's pretty safe to assume Rick and his cohorts are going to end up scrambling around these hallways at some point. Yeah. So, but what we learn, of course, this is apocalypse viewing. Guys got old VHS tapes, got an old shitty TV. Look at this. This is one of those DVD VHS tapes. I remember when these came out, and I remember thinking, wow, the future is temporarily now. I wonder what all the movies are. Boy, remember when you had to return tapes, and if you didn't rewind it, they'd yell at you and stuff?
Be kind, rewind. I even had like one of those swanky standalone rewinders.
Oh, really?
It was shaped like a race car.
Wow.
I was like, wow, my dad's usually cheap, but he really spoiled us in this one.
Yeah, you were like...
And then I remember the first thing we put into it was Stephen King's It, which came on 2 VHS tapes, and it ate the second one.
It fucked it up?
Yes, it did.
Shit, man, that sucks. Wow, you must have grown up rich like the toy.
Yeah, and you know that those VHS tapes cost like $100 back in the day because of the rev share agreements between the studios and the blockbusters. It's different now, but I won't get into that because we're reviewing The Walking Dead.
Okay, nerd.
I could go into deep detail on that one.
Don't get James started on entertainment business accounting. He will go for a flight.
It's my turf.
Let's keep pushing. Judith Light, the Judith Light. Whoa, wow! Look at that. She looks like she got her hair cut on a motorcycle. Jesus Christ. So what is this? Like some kooky board tabletop air hockey? Knock hockey. Oh, I remember the knock hockey.
I don't remember that. That's before me.
Yeah, it's a cousin of the knockwursts. One of the world's grossest meats. Look, defense area. Okay, goal. All right. Yeah, these are basically just little hockey sticks that you use.
Okay. So this is how the Saviors pass time in their compound. They play really old TV VHS tapes. They play knock hockey, and they look like they are high or drunk.
Maybe she's a little... Yeah, they're
drunk. Okay.
boozing it up. Yeah, I think that's a good way to pass the time during the apocalypse.
It kind of reminds me of like a scene from that 70s show around the weed table.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. There should be a camera spinning around in the middle of it. Yeah, I was never really into that show.
I kind of liked it.
Oh, did you? Don't care. Moving on. So Dwight, what is it, these chess pieces? He's carving them up. Yep. I've always wanted, thumbnails. Gosh, he's already turning into a zombie. That's gnarly. You play chess, James?
Oh, yeah. Not in a long time. But
I was king of my chess club in high school.
You was a king, so you could move a lot less freely than other people?
Yep. I used to be the queen, but then I took my makeup off. All right. No, but I was. And then I lost the state tournament. Everybody's angry at me. No. So is that an igloo? Okay, so we're in like some sort of workshop.
Yeah.
They're baking bread here, maybe?
Oh, it's a kiln.
Oh, a kiln. I thought it was a doghouse, like one of those pre-made doghouse. Yeah, good catch. So they're baking stuff. Well, you got to have a thing.
You got to be self-sufficient to some degree. I know the Saviors steal a lot of stuff from other people through intimidation, but it looks like they do produce their own stuff to some extent.
Yeah, plus it gives people something to do, man. You got to keep your hands moving. And it's kind of a montagey thing here with Dwight sort of at the focus, but he's sort of observing what's going on. Oh, he's making a sandwich.
Yeah, it kind of looks like here that we're seeing two saviors trading amongst each other, and it looks like maybe this trade didn't go so well and it erupted into a fist fight or something. Right. It kind of looks like a farmer's market barter type deal that the saviors have going on.
Sort of a supply room, storage area. These are some Applebee's directions, TGI Friday stuff. But yeah, and also whenever a trade deal goes bad with me, I immediately take off my pants. So this guy, I kind of feel like I understand what he's trying to do here. I had some friends that got into a fist fight over whether or not Paul Wiley, the gymnast, should have given his gold medal back during like the 2000 Olympics. And the one guy took his shirt off and charged at the other guy. It happened. Something went down. So these two dudes start throwing down. Dwight's just taking it in though. He's not too concerned.
Yeah, he's not getting involved.
Yeah. He's making a homemade pizza face. No, he's making this mustard. Hey, you know how they say mustard in French?
Moutard.
Whoa!
I took 6 years of French, and I still suck at it.
Wow, quel surprise! So, sandwich, this thing, it's all kind of happening. Oh, that guy took it right there in the face. This is boots, little thrift shoppy in there, isn't it? So we got some sort of generic background goons and bakers, and just a fight. We're going to kind of push through. So then Dwight writes down this number 39.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that at first, but then the very next scene shows that number again.
Yeah.
And it looks like is this his like bunk number or his area number or his barter station number or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe people can help us figure this one out. Yeah, because it's not like I see other numbers that denote like the beds or this maybe... That kind of not barricaded.
And later on in the episode, they reference that there's a certain category of people. And then on the lower end are people who work for points.
Yeah.
Is it possible that these guys owe points and they owe 39 points for getting into this disagreement? And Dwight's a higher level, so he gets to take stuff from them because of their indiscretions? I'm not quite sure.
Right. Yeah, because, he sort of wrote... I'm backing up, by the way. He wrote 39 down in response to the fighting.
Yeah, so he's saying you're penalized by this many points.
Or maybe he knew the guy maybe the guy got killed and he knew that guy's stuff was up for grabs, and so he wrote down 39 because that was to remind himself whose stuff he needed to go raid.
Yeah, I mean, he's like an authority figure with the Saviors, so he witnessed something. So I'm going to go leaning towards the point system type thing.
He's like the Ned Stark to Negan in a way.
Yeah.
Like he's the hand of the... Negan. Yeah? No.
Yeah,
not really. But like a lieutenant, more of a captain of people.
But then again, the guys standing next to him are not the guys that were fighting, so maybe they're in bunk 38 and they're just kind of watching.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's a theory though. But he does take like pickles. Yeah, there they are. Homemade jar pickles and stuff. Puts them on a sandwich. So
doesn't clean his nails.
Yeah. Ugh, gross. Could you imagine going to a restaurant and the guy cooks here and you're like, oh my god, I asked for less nail on my sandwich. But they're just kind of watching him do whatever. He goes and gets a tomato. They're really selling this whole putting value into the sandwich. He's putting in some work, puts the big old leaf on there, and that's kind of fun. What do they call leaf? Edible leaf?
Edible leaf?
Lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah, edible leaves. So a whole street leaf is on there. Okay, that's from the song that we're listening to, right?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we see Negan. So they do their own gardening.
He apparently carries his baseball bat everywhere.
Yeah. That's like his cell phone.
Yeah.
It's an iBat 7. And Negan, of course, wearing the leather. He's tough. He's cool. He walks by and they kind of look at him.
Yeah, and if you go back one screen, you'll see the guy right next to Dwight is the same guy in the next screenshot.
Yep.
Who we're going to see more of this episode.
Yes. So this was not an accident that they pointed the camera at him and made him act. That tends to be how shows work. So that guy, we'll see him later. We got some pepper, we got some salt. Oh, and he fries up an egg. And dude, an egg on a sandwich is delish. And then we get some more mustard and stuff, and then we get a good old POV this is the world's either, I guess you'd call this sandwich porn.
Yeah, I mean,
or really boring regular porn.
I hate tomatoes, but that even looks good to me.
Oh, dude, it's the apocalypse. You kidding? You get some fresh color, some nice, good veggies, and an egg, and some bacon.
It kind of shows that being a member of the Saviors, you got to work for what you get.
Yes.
You got to barter, you got to trade. Nothing comes easy.
It's also safe to assume that not everybody gets to eat something like this.
Yeah, you know? Dwight being like the upper levels of management.
Yeah, exactly. And then, gonna love it. He's probably tired of eating pizza for obvious reasons. He puts it up there and he's taking a big old bite. Yum, yum. Then we get a giant wide shots of this kooky prison yard with all sorts of crazy scary. Is that a head on a stick right there?
Yeah, it looks like it. And in this part...
Yeah, we were confused throughout the episode.
Through the very end of the episode, this confused me too. And I don't think much clarity was given. But we'll kind of probably go into that as the screenshots unfold.
Yeah.
Rather than get into it all right now.
Totally. But this is a fenced outside area. And it does obviously... I read this as like kind of a minefield of zombies, right? Like sort of but they're all a barricade of sorts.
They're all stationary. They're all stuck to something. They can't roam free.
Right. They're locked in, which would control where people are. Crowd control, I guess. For invaders is what I mean. But yeah, so the zombies are in there staggering around. Now pay attention right here. This guy's wearing a bucket on his head, so these are obviously fans of Plants vs. Zombies. And these two dudes are not zombies. They're sort of navigating this Gauntlet, which is a great old video game, by the way, James.
I love Gauntlet.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like, why are they... I mean, they're clearly in there, but there's a lot of open room for them to stand that will put them away from the zombies, where they won't incur any danger or risk of being bitten.
Right.
And yet they're intentionally staying near the zombies.
Well, they're doing something with the bucket head, and James was confused. Do you want to talk about this now, or do you want to save it?
Well, yeah, it seems like they're in there for a punishment purpose. They're not in there on their own volition. But if they're in there for a punishment...
Well, we learned that, too, just before, because of the way they're dressed. They're wearing like this sort of spray-painted
they're dressed
sweatsuits.
In a similar fashion, and they have a letter spray-painted on the front of the sweatshirt, which we don't really know what that means yet. But
so it's not clear that they're being punished until we realize later, though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be out there, but then again, it seems like if you have half a mind about you, you could just stand far away from the zombies and not be touched.
But it might just be like it's a shitty job, like ostrich farming or something.
Yeah, or maybe Dwight's job is to stand there and watch them and say, "Hey, get back in there."
Oh, right.
So maybe he's like his job is to watch the people who are under punishment.
It could be as simple as that their job is to add new zombies to this, medley, to this little, European disco of zombie dancers, where one is needed or something. Perhaps they work themselves loose or they eventually keel over. But they are zombies. I guess keeling over is not in their
or they're
repertoire.
They're in training to deal with the undead. I don't know.
I didn't think that's the case.
I mean, that's the least likely scenario.
But the bucket on the head is a really sensible way.
Yeah, but they took the bucket off.
I know. Well, once they they put them where they need them, and then you take the bucket. You got to bring the bucket home to have sips of water.
Ah, of course.
Maybe it's their chamber pot.
Yeah. So
haven't you ever gotten an alligator out of the creek? Or sorry, crick, as you might call it.
Out of we call it the river. RIVAH.
River.
The river.
There's an alligator in the river. Go get the zombie bucket. Is that a good Virginia accent?
That's a Virginian thing, yes.
Okay, yeah, so they did take the bucket off of one of these. All right, we're getting a little too focused on the bucket heads.
I feel like we're missing something obvious, but maybe someone can set us straight.
I just think it's a defense perimeter. That's all, really. I don't think it has to be more complicated than that. So there's Dora looking at him. But this is weird. Okay, first, this is horrifying. We saw this zombie here. And he's stuck. He's impaled. His, what's his name? Shish kebab.
Yes.
Get it? Because he's a shish kebab. And Dwight, but what was odd to me was that Dwight was like grossed out or sort of...
He was just fascinated watching the guy slide up and down the pole.
But this should be second nature to him. This should be like just another office worker who you learn to ignore.
Well, I mean, in the apocalypse, this is the closest you're going to get to a pole dancer. So you got to take what you can get.
Yeah. Boy, things are going wrong when you're at a strip club and this happens. She gets impaled on it, but keeps at it. And you throw her dollars, and you're like, no, use the dollars to clog the wound, not the 5. So I just mean that maybe he's having an awakening of ways, like realizing how fucked up it is.
Yeah, I don't feel like Dwight is okay with the situation.
Not really.
He's not happy with what's going on, but he feels stuck.
Sure. But I get it. Okay, we could really break that apart, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, they really did show this dude a lot. They probably took Wendell. How do you think they did that? Do you think it's just...
I don't know. They had to find someone who was injured and had no torso?
Yeah. A guy who's already got a 3-inch
prosthetic torso.
Yeah, he's got a prosthetic kidney, and they just let him poke a hole through his hole. All right, so then this shot, and I go, ooh, cat food. And James goes, no, dog food. And I was so impressed for the quickest moment. And then he goes, because the can is bigger. It was too big of a can.
Cat food's a small can.
Cat food. And I go, James, you're brilliant. You're so smart. But it's, of course, dog food. Oh, man. But they do get the high-quality paper plates. Yeah. Growing up, James, we were so poor we had to eat off of our hands.
Now, is that a high-quality paper plate, or is that like multiple paper plates?
It could be a stack.
Why would he be so wasteful?
That's what you do when you have the shitty paper plates. When you get that Smart and Final paper plate, you got to fucking stack them up because it's too thin. One of them will fold over, and then all of a sudden you'll have, a crawdaddy on your toes. But, oh no, nudity. Who is it? It's our old buddy Daryl. Daryl is having a bad day.
Yeah, this particular part was kind of spoiled for me a little bit. Because I was reading something on an article that I didn't mean to click on, and it said that
on nakeddaryl.com.
Yes, the best blog in the world. But it said that he forwent the use of the modesty sock, so he was actually nude for this.
Oh, wow!
And he said that the crew was very respectful. No one laughed or anything.
No one made fun of his greasy-haired pee-pee?
No, apparently not.
Yeah, that's good, fine. We don't have to act like the dick's not there. That's what the modesty stock. I mean, I get
that's what you do in Westworld.
Yeah, we do in Westworld. It's just funny. I mean, I'm not. If you had your dick out, I'd be like, James, come on, modesty sock. Would you put on some modesty pants? And then I'd probably modesty punch you in the face. But it's just a thing. I get it. Someday in the future, we'll look back on this era and be like, really? They freaked out about every little stupid piece of skin? Come on. It's dumb. But again, though, if it was my office, and I wouldn't want dicks hanging around me either. So
more to the point, Daryl is in a cell. He's not looking good. They're not treating him well, and they're feeding him dog food sandwiches.
Yes, which he eats eagerly, though. I mean, you're hungry, you're going to eat anything. Although this does make me a little curious to see what dog food tastes like. But the guy leaves, Daryl's in trouble, Daryl's not feeling great, and he just, click, lock, movie or opening sequence, Walking Dead.
You know what I didn't find out for the longest time while we go through this opening sequence?
That's it.
Is that my grandparents used to give my sister and I, when we were very young, these treats, the little biscuit things.
Oh no.
And we didn't know for the longest time until like a year later that he was giving us dog food treats.
Wow.
And we were eating them.
That's fucked up, man.
It is.
So did it change?
He thought it was hilarious.
He was doing it to get a laugh?
Yes. He was not a good
That's
dude.
Child abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the kid doesn't know it's not, but it is if you're laughing at the kid.
Looking back at it, it's pretty screwed up.
Did he laugh? Did you see him laugh?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucked up. It's one thing if he would close the door and then go,
no, he was not a good dude.
Did he ever end up dead or in jail or something?
No, he died of natural causes.
Sorry, I called your family member a piece of shit.
No,
that's
he's...
nice. You can call my parents a piece of shit.
No,
to get back at me. Come on.
No, there's upbeat music playing, so we can't do that.
So this music's playing. I'm sorry that happened to you. That sucks.
No, it was pretty tasty.
Yeah, no wonder you're all wacky. All right, so we come in, kind of camera slowly comes in on Daryl. Let's back up. So I was getting all the lyrics, and it feels so sweet. We're on Easy Street, and this music is this really kind of abrasive, high, peppy, loud.
It's pretty grating on the nerves.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty clear that they're trying to emotionally and physically and mentally break Daryl.
Yeah, well, you realize, it doesn't take much, but you realize this is torture music. Yeah. Like, they're just cranking it, and he can't escape the sound.
Yeah, he can't concentrate, he can't sleep, he can't rest, he's just misery.
It's kind of like my tinnitus, except the music is... Don't be me, James. Pounding, and so boom, pounding on the door. It's the food delivery Daryl. He's got another dog food sandwich. I said Daryl, Dwight, I meant to say. And so of course Daryl gets up. Now we see he's been shot. Was that a crossbow wound or a bullet wound?
I think it was a...
Negan.
I don't recall, actually.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments, guys. Did Daryl get hit? Or maybe someone just poked him in the chest real hard with a finger.
Yeah, so you notice that Daryl eats it right away.
Yeah.
And he does it in two meanings, really. He eats it in defiance to the fact that Dwight expects him to throw it down and cast it aside.
Yeah.
And for the fact that he's probably starving.
Yes. That's true. Yeah, like it seems like it's degrading, and Daryl it's
but he owns it.
You can't rebel when you're hungry.
Yeah.
That's That's why whenever James dangles a Mountain Dew Wendy's in front of me, I do his bidding. So, okay, Daryl's back again. So I was thinking at this point, are we just going to be in the cell the entire time? And it's just going to be one of those psychological, guy goes mad as his beard gets longer, sweats and shits and pisses all over the place.
Listening to this music was kind of driving me mad.
Oh, yeah. And I like that they had it up real loud. Like I wanted to turn it down, but I insisted on keeping it at the volume so we could live like we are Daryl, so we could feel his pain. And, it sucks. He's having a bad time. Oh, then they toss in these clothes, and this is also comes in where we'll see what we were talking about earlier with the sweatsuit. There's Daryl's crossbow, which is another way of rubbing it into his face.
Yeah, and the fact that Dwight is also wearing his vest, which you mentioned before.
Yep. And we'll also see he has his motorcycle. And so Dwight is kind of just becoming Daryl. No, this is not the plot of single white female. It's the plot of smelly white male.
Right.
But, okay, so the sweatsuit, and we'll see this obviously more. So he is one of those dudes that's going to be outside there.
Yeah, which we come to find out that they call that the fence. Because it is a fence, it kind of makes sense.
I should clarify, we realized those guys outside of the fence were also captives or some sort of prisoner.
Yeah, we assume that they're prisoners in the same situation that Daryl is because they had I think one of them had an F in orange on their t-shirt, not t-shirt, but sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And we'll see in a few screenshots that Daryl has an A on his.
Yeah. Would you have any, Alexandria? A for
Alexandria. A, that's very possible. And what would F be?
F for the kingdom. The kingdom.
There's Alexandria, there's Hilltop, there's the kingdom, and
I don't know. Yeah, so it's hard to say, but we'll figure that out. So there he is. It's everything just got to be gross and sweaty. We come by. These guys are mopping. I sensed something up with these dudes for some reason. I think I was ultimately wrong. I just felt like they were weirdly sort of making them, like setting them up for later. I assumed Daryl would use their mops as a weapon. That was my prediction. Of course, it didn't work out that way. Like right here, they're shot. They're not cleaning anything. It doesn't even look like it's wet. It's just prop acting, I guess. So, all right, we come in here. We realize we have a doctor's office. This guy was just finishing up a thing with the lady.
And we recognize the woman who's sitting there is that was the woman that Daryl originally met in the woods with Dwight, who was running away with the other woman who we know was named Tina. And at the end of that encounter, Tina dies, and then Dwight and this woman, whose name I don't quite recall, basically rob Daryl, take his crossbow, take his motorcycle, and leave him. And I think the last thing she says to him is, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And he says, "You're gonna be."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Daryl's always keeping real on his promises.
Yeah, so she recognizes Daryl at this point. She says, "Hi, D," because
is she talking to Daryl or Dwight?
Dwight.
Dwight, yeah.
Yeah, they call him D for short.
D for to save time, because it is the apocalypse. Hey, hi. I like your dress. But no, he has a deep history with her.
Yeah, well, she was kind of strange because we know that they were always together, but the fact that she's saying hi to them and he's kind of being awkward means that they're probably not seeing a lot of each other now.
Yeah.
And we'll find out more about that soon, too.
Yeah. Someone you're super acquainted with, you don't have that level of, I guess, formality.
Yeah,
or
you don't acknowledge that there's something going on.
All right, and then we get a shot of a pregnancy test, and it turns out she is not. They get a look at it, and you can tell because she's not pregnant because it's a giant smiley face. Woohoo! I had a pregnancy scare once, James. Oh, man. Did I dodge a bullet? Oh, boy.
Turns out you were just bloated.
It was, turns out I was just bloated, and I gave birth to a urine baby. So she kind of gives that, no, it's not this time.
So he's inspecting the wound on Daryl's back, which we can only assume is the result of the pass-through of the bullet wound, I think it is, or the bolt wound. I should have gone back and looked at what happened to him in the prior episode the last season, but I don't recall.
It'll only generate millions of comments that we are the biggest losers because we don't remember the bullet.
It's a penetrating wound from something.
Yeah. A sharp finger, I'm telling you. Negan will take care of you. That was a weird sentence, though, when he said that. He's like, Negan will take care of you. Like, okay, he's not Jesus, all right? He can't heal. Dwighty boy. So then Negan is in the hallway. Negan and actually Daryl has a sort of like physical reaction. He sort of crumbles a little, right?
Right, because the last time Daryl saw Negan was when he erupted in anger at the death of, or the killing of Abraham.
Yeah.
And he jumped up and clocked Negan in the face, which directly led to Negan killing Glenn.
Yeah.
So Dwight feels responsible for the death of Glenn, and he sees Negan as someone that he wants nothing but revenge on. But I think he also looks at Negan, and Negan triggers the guilt in him for having resulted in the death of Glenn.
Yes, and as we'll see, that's still something that haunts him and is really, adding to the pain that he's undergoing in this entire experience. So Negan, of course, handsome, confident, cool, fan of Michael Jackson. Oh, look what time it is. It's 3:30, right? Is that right? Did I read that?
The after-school special.
Yeah, it's time. Look, it says tank safety. Must be near an aquarium or a military base. So you stand right there. I thought that was interesting that he just gave an order. And it didn't really need him to go very far.
We find out the guy's name is Fat Joey.
Fat, really?
Fat Joey.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, Fat Joey. All right. I like that. There's the A.
Yep.
He's an adulterer.
And I feel like they sat him in that red chair for a very particular purpose.
Okay, what do you mean?
Because he has a view into a room, and I don't know if you got a screenshot of it, but you can see it. Okay, perfect. You can see into that room, and I'll kind of explain to you a little bit later why I think that room is important.
Okay.
He's giving him a view of it. And you see that he's looking closely at it.
They went out of there. Okay, so that was a deliberate thing to get him to be exposed. I mean, I assume you're in a cell. This looks like a kind of comfortable. Not that it's a dream palace, but that chair looks like it'd be a nice sit.
Yeah, they're basically telling him this could be yours if you play your cards right.
Yeah. Sitting's my favorite thing to do next to laying down. So yeah, you're right. It's a tempting glimpse of a better life, but you might have more to say about it later. It sounds like, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
All right, sweet. Coming up later with James. So there's Dwight, and then they're outside. Walker's growling. Man, you guys goes coming. And so now Daryl's getting his first look at what's going on here. Oh, look at this guy here, huh?
Oh, yeah. He's just hanging out.
Just hanging out. He's just half-assing it.
Half the man he used to be.
He is armed to the torso.
It's 2.5 men.
1/2 of a man, dumbass. Come on, calculus boy. But these guys are just weirdly into this mix. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're just acting. I mean, like, all right, go out there and fight around. Look at this dude. He's been a zombie for about 6 hours.
Yeah, okay. Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like every heroin junkie at my high school. So there they go. They're off, and it's crazy. Oh, there's the F.
Okay.
What do you think that could be, an S?
Maybe there's an F and an M and an A and an L and a Y and an I, and when they get in the right order, they all sing "We Are Family."
We are family. Yeah, the zombies do it though too. It turns into the deleted scene from Thriller. So yeah, the Walker. Oh, you know what? This is the guy that got beat up.
Is that the guy?
Yeah. Let's jump back. Okay, so the fight with the shirt off. Here we go. I'm finding the screenshot. Man with his shirt off, getting punched and beat up. Right there. Oh nope.
You think?
Right there. Yeah. Look at his belly. He's got this
ginger.
He doesn't do push-ups. He's got shitty arm muscles and kind of a belly, but not. He's I've been fatter than that. And yeah, that dude. That's totally that guy. You don't think it is? Did you say ginger?
Yeah,
he's a redheaded.
Yeah,
he's kind of a redheaded
I guess
fella.
it's possible that is.
I think that is. So he some violation of his here. I don't know, man. I'm calling it. I'm saying it's him.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but I'm with you.
Okay, so that's interesting. That really tells you that there are major consequences to doing the wrong thing, or you can get accused. That's one of the things about these draconian environments is that somebody can use the rules against you. They can falsely accuse you or something like that. So this is a scary place. I'm quite certain that's him. All right. Well, and they even chained him up. That's horrible. You got to give him the necklace version of that. So he's like, check it out, Daryl. We don't remember all the dialogue. But he's saying you can either work there or here, right? Unless you're smart. I don't know.
You'll end up on the fence as a dead man if you're dumb, but if you're smart, you'll be on the other side with me.
Yeah. And we're not really doing all the lyrics, the dialogue, which I'm okay with. I think we're fine because remembering every line is tough. All right, so door opens and we see the cell back to the titular room, and it is, he goes, grunts. This is an important line because he says, "I'm never gonna give in. You can't break me.
Yeah.
How dare you? How Daryl you?" So
someone says, "Do a Daryl roll."
Yeah. It's a real Daryl of laughs.
Yeah.
But the guy goes, I don't have a screenshot, but between these two, the guy goes, "It broke me," or like, "I kneeled." And then goes, "Yeah, I know." Which I actually like that. He's like, "Yeah, I know you did, you little bitch."
Yeah. He's that's the thing, man. You will.
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't know.
Yeah,
like,
you don't know, but you will. Yeah. Yield.
You'll find out is basically what he's saying. All right, so Daryl in the dark.
And then
he gets up and starts scrambling. Oh, yeah, the music kicks on.
And he starts kicking and going crazy.
Yeah, but he's scrambling through the doorway or, at the seam of the door and looking around. And it's all just intense and loud, and he's kicking it. I thought he was, for being malnourished and tired and shit, and he was kicking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I could take some kicking lessons from him. So then this guy's kind of reporting back to Negan, it's not working, man. He's like, it's okay, don't you worry. I'm handsome. I got a gray beard, but I'm still probably doable to women and stuff, And I'm Negan. I'm tall and thin. So go ahead, James.
So he says something here that doesn't make sense until a little bit later in the episode, but he basically says, you're doing a good job on Daryl. You haven't broken him yet, but you're close. And as a reward for your good work, I'm going to let you have a go at you-know-who.
Oh, yeah.
And he's referring to someone in particular, but we don't know quite who it is yet, or we don't know the circumstances behind it, but it will become clear in a couple more scenes. But he's telling Dwight, have your pick of any woman you want here, have your fun, as long as they say yes.
Yes, which I was glad to see that.
Yeah, so he's not a complete monster, but he is kind of a creepy, terrible guy.
Yeah, it shows that people are his to dispense, and he uses people, and they can be, in women he treats like rewards and property, which is bad. So, yeah.
But he does have his limits, too.
Yes.
They're pretty extreme limits, but he has his limits.
Yeah, sure. He's not 100% Hitler all the time.
Yes, so he offers this to Dwight, and Dwight surprisingly turns him down, and he says, well, are you okay down there? And you remember I think it was last season at some point, Eugene comes into contact with Dwight. There's a tense scene, and Eugene survives it by lurching forward and biting the crap out of Dwight below the border.
Oh, right. Wow. I was just thinking that had been a zombie attack.
No. That is courtesy of Mr. Eugene.
Well, real quick, everybody, let us know in the comments. Would you rather have a zombie or Eugene bite your wiener? Which one would you prefer?
Well, you're not going to turn into a zombie with Eugene doing it.
What if it's just only his wiener did? And it went, Those are tiny growls.
Okay.
Those are tiny squeaky grrr. Yeah, wow, great call on that one. That's right. Poor old Eugene. No wonder his hair was always blown back. Yep.
So Dwight reassures him that he's fine down there.
He goes, or maybe it doesn't work, huh? Is it down for the count?
He says, trust me, no problems.
Yeah.
To reference something else I don't want to think about right now.
Erectile dysfunction.
No, the person who said that.
Oh, who? Okay, sure, I get it.
Let's not talk about him.
I gotcha. I get these, never mind, I was going to talk about my boners. So there they go. He goes, oh, dude, it's okay. He goes, it's not over. I haven't gotten it. I haven't broken them yet. He's kind of like saying, I don't think he wants to, but he uses the excuse that I don't deserve anything anyway. I haven't finished the job yet.
Yeah, but he's using that. We find out later again that he's using that as an excuse. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why he doesn't want to take Negan up on his offer,
right?
But we don't quite know what that is yet, but we'll explain that when we get there.
And Negan's such a psychopath, though, that turning him down is looked at as insubordination.
Yes.
So it's risky to do that. I haven't earned it yet, he says. Then we get a radio call. This is on a radio crackle. Women, we have an orange situation.
Yeah, they've run out of Sunny Delight. Yeah. And they don't know what to do.
And she's actually talking about the recent election. So it's very, very orange. Very, very scary. So he's like, uh-oh. Negan takes the radio. He finds out, he could have gone one of three ways. And I know James remembers what was said. I missed it.
I believe it was the angel, the moth, or the hard way.
Yes.
And at first we don't know what in the world that means, but we find out in a couple of screenshots.
Yes, he is okay. And so Dwight insists that he goes and takes care of it. And then Negan, emotional manipulator that he is, puts his head up to him. Like that thing where people are really comfortable getting in your face.
I'm not one of those people.
No, me neither, man. I'm not comfortable living within 100 feet of people. That's why I have a restraining order on the world. Mm-hmm. But no, Negan is just kooky. It's just everything about him is he's playing these games. He uses physical dominance. He uses psychological tactics. So he's obviously really intelligent, and he's ruthless and will do anything it takes. And he's got great fashion sense. Although, all right, so then Dwight, there they go. They're off. And that's the shot.
Right.
James just referred to.
Yeah, we can assume that there's 3 major roads leading outside of the compound where the saviors are held up. And we can tell right now that one of those roads has a big angel statue that's uniquely adorned by arms.
Yeah, these are actually Christmas lights.
Yes.
These glow at night.
So we can
like those little jalapenos.
Yeah, so we can assume that this is what they mean by the angel, the moth, and the hard way. This is probably the path that relates to the angel. Don't quite know what the moth is. Maybe it's a street light. and maybe the hard ways, maybe the road's all broken up a little bit. Who knows?
Yeah,
but that's probably the angel.
Those are great guesses. I think we're all on the same board as you are. So boom, he's in the thing, coming up on a looks like to be an overturned car and a pile of stuff under a bridge. Things can get kind of crazy, so he checks it out.
Yeah, so he intentionally turns his engine off.
Yeah, exactly. So back to music torture here, and somebody opens the door. It's Daryl. He's in a sweatsuit, and things aren't going well. But to the new man, since Dwight's off on a mission, Fat Joey.
And we know that because in the prior scene, when Dwight says that when Dwight volunteers to go after, Negan says something along the lines of, I want my stuff back, but Dwight, you don't have to do it. For God's sake, send Fat Joey. He needs the exercise.
Okay.
And Dwight says, you know what? I want to do it.
Yeah.
And he says, good boy. Puts his head close to him. So we know that's Fat Joey. And we know that Dwight is still kissing Negan's butt. Or he just wants to get out of the compound for his own sanity's sake.
Yeah, he probably wants to. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Good call. So the music's going, boom. Well, that was just Fat Joey giving him the food. He comes back a little bit later, though, too. All right, so Fat Joey closes the door, and Daryl senses something. He I think he heard that it didn't sound normal or something. He figured out kind of quickly what the hell was going on. And he very carefully pushes, and he cracks the door, so somehow it didn't latch. Or maybe Fat Joey forgot to lock it, or
he definitely spit a piece of dog food into the crevice, so that it wouldn't close all the way.
I was thinking that, like, maybe he can surreptitiously sort of like pack in the doorknob thing or something.
Maybe
but
not. I don't know.
He can't move while they're standing at the doorway.
Yeah, Daryl he's inventive. Maybe he came up with something that I'm not seeing.
The word you're looking for is resourceful. A survivor. A Daryl. Of laughs. So there they go. They're off. Not they. It's only one of them. I'm talking about all of his hairs. He's sneaking through, and I'm thinking trouble is ahead, more than likely. I don't expect Daryl to do super well. He's not just going to waltz his way out of there. He's not going to go to the gift shop and buy some shot glasses.
What would Fat Joey say if he saw him?
Yo, I'm Fat Joey, and I'm here to say I saw Daryl, and he's got to go back in the cell.
He'd look at him and say, hey.
Is that what you're trying to get to?
Kind of a little bit.
Oh, like, whoa.
A little bit.
Whoa.
But it was more of a...
Blossom. Oh no, 6 is coming over. Whoa.
Anyway,
my pubes came in. Whoa. All right, so
someone's found him.
Yeah, so we hear footsteps. And actually, he ditches out, and so he actually avoids these 3 fellas coming around the corner. As all good guys do. And they did some good zombie work in this sequence here.
That's pretty messed up.
Yeah. So this is we see the moment where the hand actually sort of snaps right there, which is. You think about it, it's like, like in the desert where how a rock will fall over because it's being eroded.
Right.
Like at some point, bones just crumble and then break. I don't know why I made that point.
He's teaching us about 90-degree angles. Geometry.
This is a biking lesson. If you're turning right, put your arm in a thing. Nobody knows to use the right signals. Just stick your arm out. People would notice. So that's horrible. It also kind of makes me want to eat ribs.
So this person's like a skeleton but still has butt fat.
This?
How does that happen?
Little tushy fat? Maybe there's a diaper going on in there.
Maybe that could be it.
I don't know. I guess you're right. It would be a little bit flattened down, but could just be the structure of the pants. Maybe they're crusted over with decades of zombie sweat, or maybe hours. I don't know. It's gross and everything. Obviously, I enjoyed it. I kept hitting print. This is a poster at my dentist's office. But the one here, though, the hand is like twisted around. Just kind of like broken up a little bit. I don't know. So they're all fucked up, and this is really, really wacky. So Dwight is checking it out, walking slowly. Now we're gonna watch his bike.
I'm suspecting I didn't pick up on this in the first part, but because we don't know what he's going after, but I can tell you right now that he's looking for a particular person who has escaped.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that what he's doing now, he's going slow because he wants to assess the people on the ground to find out if one of these walkers is the person he's looking for.
Yeah.
Because if so, then his job's over and he can go back home.
Yes. So where the hell is he in this shot? Is he not?
Oh, he's right there.
Oh, that's standing by the car. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you're not gonna wheel your bike. You're gonna put your bike.
Yeah, because initially I thought that something was wrong with his motorcycle, but no, we heard before the caption that he turned the engine off and he's walking it through slowly.
Yeah. So look at his footsteps. It's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. Does that mean that they arrived after the bloody mess? I mean, not all of them, but did something walk through it, or did they bring in the footsteps and then get hit by the car, which caused the car to flip over?
I don't know. We need Dexter.
Yeah. We need Dexter or Monk or some sort of forensic. We need the guy from The Night Of to come in there and. Okay, so. Yeah, so he's looking for somebody. There he is again, looking around, pushing his bike through it slowly. This guy's here. He's got a jaw poking out. Those are his bellies.
That person needs some spinal work.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Just a slight realignment.
Yeah.
You know, just copay is $4,000. But, oh, God, that's so horrible. Why don't I have not to block that out? This guy's pretending to be Superman because he's excited about the HBO Superman vs. Batman is now on HBO Now.
Oh, that's right. I need to watch that.
I need to watch that, too. I'm going to update my Cupid profile, see if I can get any chicks to come over and watch it. And a big puddle of jelly. Somebody really took it right here. Now, I think I just had a theory about why this is this. You wouldn't get run over and flattened like that, right? A car's not going to do that to one thing.
Do you think Negan had one of his bat sessions here?
No, just as we see in the next scene explains it. It's just a splatter.
Oh, and then
it's
they
like
get
dropping
up and they crawl away from that portion.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now that you said that, let's back up.
And that's why the back is all screwed up. And yeah.
Yeah. So they're all kind of stacked. Maybe some of them stood up and walked off. Perhaps that might explain the footsteps. Yeah. Look at you and I. We should start a private investigator service.
Solve a crime.
Yeah, we could call it Suck Crime Professor. I don't know.
Sure.
Skulk Professor, and we could skulk about for clues. But no, zombies come crashing off, and they come flying down, and top down, he's in trouble.
And ironically, you know what the name of the street is?
Splatter Sesame Street.
Easy Street.
Oh, why is that funny? What do you see me mean?
It's about to feel so sweet.
Feel so
he's
sweet.
On Easy Street.
Because of the name of the song, the song that was playing before. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's probably not an accident. All right, so yeah, the guy gets kind of like caught off guard by the zombies and boom, drops down on him. Oh shit, fuck, the guy came down on me as a zombie, scary. And then of course immediately, roar! He's just being attacked. He wants to give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. I want to give you a zombie kiss. And so he's fighting with them, wrestling. Fuck you, zombie. And pulls out a gun.
Yeah.
Finally. Another one lands too, though.
But it seems like he's getting overwhelmed a little bit. So
it came on pretty hard, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of unclear at this point whether he's going to get out of there safe. But for story purposes, it seems like he had a purpose, so I didn't think he was dead.
It would have been surprising if they killed him in this moment. Because then it's just like, oh.
Then what was the point of all of this?
Send Fat Joey to go, get the bag of ribs and bring him back. Back into the prison cell area. Daryl's skulking about like a good professor, and look at him. Things are going nuts. Here's the thing. He tries to punch or almost punches. No, it's Nina? This is Nina.
Tina was the one that died.
Oh, Tina.
That was her sister who acquired the medicine.
Yeah, so
But she was Dwight's wife who relinquished her marriage to Dwight to marry Negan to spare Dwight's life.
And she wears dove earrings because she's peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah. And she also has a giant, I don't know, what would you call that?
Yeah, which,
That's a sack of spider eggs.
Yeah, we haven't found this out yet. I just kind of spoiled a little bit, but...
Oh, that's fine.
But yeah, so she was Dwight's wife. No longer. She's with Negan now.
Yeah.
Dwight's protection. That's why there was that awkward moment between her and Dwight when she was with the doctor with a pregnancy test, because it wasn't a pregnancy between her and Dwight, it was between her and Negan potentially.
Yes. And also in that same scene, we forgot to mention that Daryl was pregnant.
Yes.
And he gave birth and raised 6 kids and sent them all to Harvard.
Yeah.
So she basically warns him, like, don't do this.
She's got sympathy.
You got a chance here. I'll go back. It'll be worse. You're making a mistake, basically.
Yeah, and she knows just how bad Negan can be because she's his wife now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, captive, concubine.
And to be fair, at this point, we don't know that, but that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
She's saying you don't know how bad it gets. When you resist, it gets that much worse. Go back, you'll be better off.
Underscoring the whole kind of arc of these people under Negan's purview, that they've given in. They've submitted fully and for their own survival.
Yeah, the repercussions for disloyalty, disobedience are... bad enough to warrant not doing that.
Yeah, and Daryl's just like, no, I got powdered cheese all over my face because we had...
He's in potato mode.
I had Cheez-Its for lunch. I had Cheetos for lunch, and then I rubbed my face, and I'm all greasy. So he's like, no. He doesn't even say anything, though, which I like that he didn't say anything. He just kind of, scurries away from her a little bit.
He sees motorcycles, and he's like, Daryl like motorcycles.
Yeah, Daryl. Daryl love motorcycle.
Those French fried taters.
Daryl love a vibrating taint.
Alrighty.
I always go too far. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry,
a little
James.
far.
I'm sorry. Daryl love a rectum that never stops shaking. Mm-hmm. So, boom. Daryl is home. He loves a good motorcycle. Like, he just guesses there'll be keys, I guess, is that how motorcycles work? Yeah. They probably have an ignition. But no, guess what? Goons. Daryl, you dummy. You got goon dudes. Daryl goes immediately into prison yard fighting. Yeah. And he's ready to fucking throw down.
He will not relent. He doesn't give in.
He's not an easy pushover fella. That of course there's a gun. Guns always change the equation, and
the subtitle kind of gave this one away.
Yeah, that's because they all have DVD or music XP3 boxes.
I mean, they couldn't just write whistling.
Yeah, I know, like Negan whistling, the bad guy coming. What if they just gave away the ending? So he's surrounded. There's Negan. Negan was of course hiding underneath one of these motorcycles. No, that's not where he was, but he's got his bat Lucille ball, and there he goes. He's confident. He's mad. He's Negan. He's in control. He is going to confront Daryl. So Fat Joey, Negan is saying this. He goes, "Who are you?"
And he points to Fat Joey.
Yeah, with his bat. And he goes, "Negan." I was like, huh? Mm-hmm. Huh? Who are you? And this guy goes, Negan. I'm Keanu Reeves if he lived in Vegas and had no job. I mean... And then, but they all say they're Negan.
Yeah,
Negan.
And we know that from much earlier seasons when you first meet Saviors, they refer to themselves as Negan.
Episode or seasons?
Well, sorry, in an earlier season.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Because remember that one time where Rick's group finds this one guy, and Rick knows that he's got to find and isolate and destroy this guy named Negan because he's going to be problems later on. Right. And he takes that one guy hostage, and he says, "What's your name?" And he says, "My name is Negan." And he goes, "Well, in that case, I'm sorry I have to do this." And he shoots him.
Oh, wow. Oh, right.
He thought that he had killed Negan. Yeah. But what the guy really meant was he's the Negan collective.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sort of a hive mind in a way. And which shows that Negan has full grasp over their willpower or their being and whatnot. He's the queen man.
Yeah, so he basically, he says, "You see what's going on here? I am everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I gave you an opportunity to let that sink in, and you failed."
Yeah, yeah. And Fat Joey goes, "Damn right." So, this is no good for Daryl. Daryl's in big trouble, and he won't give in, though. Daryl's very stubborn. He goes, "Okay, you got, what James is right." He's like, "I don't think you get it. You got like 3 options here. This is how it's going to work. You wind up on the spike, and you work for me as a dead man." So that's the yard out front.
Yes, we find, that's the punishment group.
Yeah. And 2, you get out of your cell, you work for points, but you're going to wish you were dead. We suppose that's like 39.
Yeah, that's what I would assume was the case.
Yeah, they could have explained that a little bit clearer, but, like, here, 6 points, I'll give you 7, and, like, something like that. But it's fine. Or 3, you work for me, and you live like a king. Like all these other guys. They're just like kings. And you should know there's no door number 4. I hope when Daryl, I had this thought that when Daryl or somebody finally gets the best of Negan or one of these guys to get out of there, he goes, "That's door number 4." Right, James?
It could happen.
Yeah, so Negan does this thing. He flinches at him with a big swing, and Daryl doesn't even budge. And he goes, "Oh, all right, wow, love that." And then he does some eggplant emojis or something. And lucky for you, but I am.
What he basically says is that Daryl shows no fear, so he says, "I like that." Mm-hmm. But you see, Lucille sees that as being a little bit disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
And lucky for you, Lucille isn't thirsty, but I am.
Yeah.
So he has this intimidating moment where he's basically saying he's bloodthirsty, but then he turns it around by saying, "So I'm going to go get myself a drink."
Right.
And just whistles and walks off while they beat the crap out of Daryl. So he plays mind games.
Yeah, he's a real screwball. I wish I had his confidence. I fake it. All my confidence is bullshit. So there they go, whistling, smack, smack, punch, punch, bald guys, black guys, white guys beating up a dude. They're fucked up. Oh, no. Walker growling, and that's only because he's upset that they're still printing phone books. What a fucking pain. Now, James, this is where you and I got a little confused, if you'll recall.
Yes.
The old busted up bike. Now, we didn't see the bike get damaged.
Well, we saw him drop it, and we saw beforehand it said kickstand creaks, which probably means the kickstand wasn't working, which is why the bike fell. And I would assume that once the thing starts falling down and piling up, that they were falling and landing on the bike as well.
Okay, I agree with everything you said, although I don't know about the kickstand creaking. I could see a working kickstand being written by a closed caption operator as just kickstand creaks, because they describe how else would you describe a piece of metal going
right? But a human body being, even though decayed as these things are, falling from an overpass would do some damage.
I agree with that. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm just taking a very stupid qualm. Is that the right word? With your kickstand thing, but. You're right. How else could this bike got all fucked up?
Yeah, I mean, we don't see it happen, but all we know is that he ran into that particular kind of situation. The bike screwed up, so 1 + 1 has to equal 2.
Yes, and forgive my coughing, everybody. I'm sorry. I've James infected me with his jury duty sickness. That
I passed it on. I did the right thing.
Yep. I definitely should not have been tickling your feet while you were sleeping.
I'm feeling great.
Damn, that was a mistake. I should not have been chewing on your toenails. So there they go. But now he's in trouble. That's Daryl.
That's not a very flattering picture of Daryl.
That looks like if Sean Bean had a baby with Kathy Bates from Misery, and then was in Game of Thrones, and then also Daryl contributed some DNA. All right, so Daryl's down. Oh, I'm Daryl. Now we're back to Dwight. He's fucked up, though. He's getting a little damage. Obviously, he survived his encounter.
Worse for the wear.
Yes, and of course, there's a couple of slow dancer prom night people having a fun time in the middle of the... This is weird that he would have spotted them earlier, probably.
Yeah, would it really be... If the guy's trying to get away, would he really be standing in the middle of the road?
Well, you just got to think, okay, imagine just a circumstance in which you'd be caught off guard in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what's weird. It's like you're not going to... Unless you're sleeping, or you're not going to get hit by a single zombie with this much space in all sides of you.
Could you push him away or push him down and just run for it? I mean, it's one zombie.
Yeah, like I don't know. Well, we're picking on it.
It's a little bit of a plot device that they've thrown in here.
Yeah, it's just too convenient to be in the center. Like, what is this? A video game? Come on, get out of here. But of course he's like, okay, ooh, he recognizes him though.
Yeah, and so at this point we realize that Negan's property that Dwight's volunteered to go back and retrieve is the man that we saw back when he was putting his sandwich together.
Yes, way earlier when they're outside, and so boom. But the guy finally gets the zombie down. Looks like he's holding a knife there, and of course, unfortunately for him, he has become the prey. The captor has arrived and tackles him right away. Dwight takes him down, back to Daryl in the cell. Lights coming out of the door. Sherry. Oh, Sherry.
Yep, that's her name.
We learned her name now, finally. We knew that would come. She's just telling him stuff. She's just like, she's basically encouraging to quit fighting, right? Like, give in is what she's saying?
Yeah, she's saying that no good comes from resisting. She wishes that she had never come back to the Saviors when she stole all the stuff. And she said, she basically said, you told me that I was going to be sorry. And you know what? I am sorry.
Yeah. All right. So, but he's being kind of messed with, though. Like, it's he's being messed with in the sense that he's getting various inputs. She's gentle. The other guys are aggressive. Food. Like he's getting. So his mind is being messed with, and I don't think she's intending for that, though. I'm just. But Daryl's having a bad time.
Yeah. No, this is an important scene.
Yeah. Now
because you recall the first time that we saw Dwight, he was on the run from the Saviors. The Saviors were after him, trying to take him back, and he was running for his life. And he was saying very adamantly, I'm not going back. We can't let them catch us. We can't go back to that.
Yeah.
So now he's in an opposing situation to another man who feels the same way, only he's tasked with bringing him back.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's hurt.
Yeah, he's clutching his side. He's clearly taken a beat.
Yeah, the only advantage he has is he has a gun. And this guy doesn't. He's kind of fed up with it though. He keeps talking, and he's like, "Dude, man, we used to be friendly. We used to know each other. We used to play chess and do stuff. Come on, dude." And what does he say about his wife? Do you have any?
Well, he mentions like you should understand after what Negan did to you, what he took away from you, what he did to you and your wife. Well, your ex-wife.
Yeah. Well, sure.
She's not your wife anymore, which kind of confirms the suspicion that we had earlier on that Negan and his wife were now a couple, and Dwight lost that. And we also know that Dwight's been disfigured from the side of his face, but we don't quite know how or why or who, but we can assume that was part of the punishment that he incurred from running from Negan.
Safe bet to say that, yeah. That's what it took to break him, it seems like. And so he's, this guy though is just doesn't want to go back. He's basically giving up. He's kind of just saying like, I'm not going to do it. You're just going to, he's saying it's okay to kill me, right?
Yeah, he's saying, just end it. I don't want to go back. It's not worth living that way.
Yeah. So what are we doing? And so this is instructive though about there's discord within
the Saviors.
The Saviors, and that Negan basically has to maintain loyalty among all these people. He obviously has a strong band of loyal men, but there's going to be cracks in that system that are going to be exploited by Rick and the rest of them, and the Kingdom and the rest of them, and the Sesame Street gang when Grover shows up with the... So he goes, look where we are, man. This is how we're living. This sucks. This is all shit. We thought we knew how to fight the monsters. And he's like, just do it. Just do it. And so he just kneels down.
He says, this is the last time that I'll kneel.
Yeah, thank you. And Dwight, you can kind of tell he's not ready to kill him. He doesn't want to do it. He's just, there's nothing back for me. So he's just totally resolved. There it is, last time, and I'm going to kneel. And you get up. And so...
But the important thing here is that in listening to what Dwight is saying, Dwight doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Dwight is not a bad guy. He's yelling and he's being stern because he knows he'll take a beating if he comes back without the guy, but he wants the guy to live. He doesn't want to have to do this.
Yeah, and well, it's easier to get him back than to explain that he had to kill him, or you know, of course he can come up with something.
So he's saying terrible things to kind of coax the guy into, doing his bidding. Like, I'll dig up your dead wife and feed her body to the crows.
And by that she means Jon Snow.
Yeah,
and his buddies.
And he also says anyone you've ever talked to, I'll kill and put on the fence or something.
Yes,
like that.
which actually does do the work. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, all right, then, I don't want all those people to die. So he sort of relents and he gets back up. The moment has passed. The guy, gives in, and Dwight has achieved his mission.
Yeah, but before that, he says...
For a moment.
Yeah, but before the guy walks away from Dwight, he says, sure, I'll do this, but I want you to know there's nothing left for us. There's nothing left back there.
Yeah.
So he basically tells Dwight that I'm a hollow, empty shell of a person. I'll go back because you're forcing me to go back because I care about other people, but this life has nothing left for me. I'm going to live as a shadow of the former person I was. This is not a life for me.
Yeah.
And I think Dwight on a deep level understands that.
Yeah.
He knows that because he was in that position too. And he takes pity on him and does what he does. He points the gun and pulls the trigger off camera.
Yeah, and that's exactly the same speech I gave when I was the college valedictorian.
Yeah. He shows pity and sympathy.
I barely fucking made it out of college. And yeah, so Dwight though then does this and he kills him and he shoots him and changes his mind.
Tells a lot about the character of Dwight.
It does.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
Also, he's swayable.
Yeah,
which is
he
really
does
important.
what he has to do, what he feels he has to do just to survive and to protect the people that he cares about.
Right. And deep underneath that rough exterior, there is a conscience. Conscience is what the word I was looking for. So, guess what you do after a pregnancy test fail? You smoke a cigarette. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what she's doing. She's in the hallway. Dwight comes in. Can I have one? He, so she's like, yeah, they light up. He good to you? Good.
Which is another subtle hint that kind of reaffirms any suspicions people might have had at this point that Negan and her are a pair, and Negan has taken her away from Dwight.
Yeah. Negan gets to just claim women. It's his harem. He's the alpha male. He's the big dog. He's the head gorilla in the group, and it's just the way it's going to be for him. So he's like, I did the right thing, meaning I didn't, I killed him, or I did what I had to do. So. Yeah, so they're just having this moment. He's probably not feeling super hot, and everything's just a little fucked up. And, life in Saviors is not exactly the wonderful thing that we all would think it might be. Upbeat music?
We're back on Easy Street.
It's Torture Song. It's James's favorite town, Easy Street. And the door opens. A hand is giving him another dog food sandwich. This one might be poop. But Daryl picks it, grabs it, and just whips it down, and he's not having any of it. Dwight doesn't seem to be too upset by that. And
you're saying he wolfed it down?
No, whips it down.
Oh,
he threw it on the ground.
Oh, he threw it back at Dwight.
Yeah, but then later they show it close to him.
Yeah, I think it bounces off the door frame or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, right. Whatever you say, Tuvok, leave it alone. Okay,
the trajectory of angle.
Mr. Logic. What's he say here? You don't pretend.
Yeah, he's trying to relate to Daryl at this point. He's saying, don't pretend you don't know the score. I got Tina killed. You got your guy killed, who's referring to as Glenn. And just saying, these are the facts of our reality.
Yeah.
It's,
That's right. And then what does he do? He's, don't forget, he puts a thing.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
His final trump card to break.
Yeah.
Daryl. It's a Polaroid of Glenn's body.
Yeah, which you recall we saw guys taking pictures in previous episodes with the Polaroid camera, and Daryl doesn't look at it right away, but it's right. I mean, he does actually.
Yeah, right after reminding him that he's responsible for Glenn's death, which Daryl is well aware of.
Yeah, so Daryl grabs it. See, there's the food. See what I mean? It was like the bread and whatever right back at that. Because he didn't. It looked like he did throw it far, but it came back. It was boomerang bread.
Yes.
And he picks it up, turns it around, and it's Daryl. We see he's kind of hard to see in this shot.
Yeah,
here,
it's basically the big blood stain.
Yeah, that's the hand, arm, shoulder, jelly pile. And it's gross. And, his buddy, his old daddy, never got to say goodbye. So it starts to hit him. Good acting here by old Norman Reedus.
And they start playing a different song, and the lyrics, I think, get to him, because it's talking about crying over you and crying.
It's a Roy Orbison's song.
Yeah.
Crying. And, it was really sad. I started sobbing out of my butt. Crying over you, alone and crying. And Roy Orbison is a weepy fella, a gentle crooner. I can't say I hate it. I actually like this song.
Okay.
This is my favorite music video of all time. Man crying in a prison cell over his dead buddy to Roy Orbison. It's a song I want to be walked down the aisle to be honest.
Better than Easy Street.
Way better than Easy Street. That's why it's nice. Roy Orbison's not a bad singer at all. So... but the psychological torture is working, right?
Yeah, and I think Dwight knows at this point. He's just standing back to see if he can hear any reaction out of Dwight. And I think he can hear him sobbing, and he's like, yep. I did it.
Yep.
But does he feel good about it? Probably not.
Yep, and every time I go to the DMV, this is what it sounds like from the outside, because I cry in there the whole time. So next day, Daryl has fallen asleep, but next to a bunch of gross shit.
Yeah.
There's his dead buddy. There's a piece of vomit and a puddle, I should say, and the old bread. Didn't eat it. Bad night. Probably had a bad night.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you turn this into plastic, you can sell it to fun high schoolers for a high profit. So, boom, Dwight, step in.
Okay. So this is the room that Daryl was sitting outside of in the red chair that he was given a glimpse inside.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
That's right. What is he saying? Jesus too?
Jesus, you look terrible, but our doctor will clean you up and get you back into shape.
Yeah, and he probably reeks too. And,
Carson is the doctor.
Carson. Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh,
God. So he goes, hell, I forgot. Puffed up, because he's all beat up.
Well, he offers him some water, but he's like, heck, you can't drink it because your mouth's all puffed up like a baboon's butt. So
get him a straw.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, Dwight? Go get him a straw.
A draw.
And so he said, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, he references that Dwight worked for points, so he was at the lowest point.
Oh, wait, what? Are you making a joke?
No, he was saying he was at a very low point. He was low in the caste system.
Dwight was, though.
Yeah, Dwight, his hierarchy at one point was really pathetic. Yeah. So he worked for points. He wasn't yet a full-fledged savior.
And he became a model citizen.
Yeah.
And look at him now. But see, sis, she needed meds, and I asked her, so he took her in. He basically... But he's also just putting Dwight back in his place, too.
Yeah, and he does... Someone at some point in this episode says that you could either, work for me, be a king, or you could work for points and wish you were dead.
Yeah.
Which tells you that that's not a good place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely not.
And he starts telling the story about Dwight and how Dwight came to be, which is basically Dwight ran away with Tina... and with Sherry. Sherry was his wife.
Yep.
Tina was his wife's sister.
Yeah.
Tina needed medicine. He said he was a stand-up guy, so I'll go ahead and provide for you if you become my wife. But they ran away anyway, and Dwight took all the medicine, and he was like, that will not stand.
Yes. And that move works on me, too. I always bring a big jug of Advil on a date, and I go, we want some medicine, and you'll be my wife. And then I go, my wife, and then she runs.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. She runs off into the bathroom, and I never see him again. That's how about my last 200 dates have gone exactly like that.
Yeah. So as we know, Tina dies, which leaves only Dwight and Sherry. So they decide to steal Daryl's stuff and go back to the Saviors.
Yes.
At which point stuff goes down. He says he cost him an arm and a leg. They went after him, but they don't catch him. So he comes back on his own volition.
Right.
But the problem is that Tina was dead, and Tina was going to be his wife.
Mm-hmm. And that's upsetting.
Yeah.
I mean, a dead wife is worse than a living wife, depending, I guess. Yeah, so it's real shitty. Daryl's been through some stuff. We're starting to get some sympathy for him. Daryl's been kind of tormenting and traumatizing, and he's been kind of a foil for Daryl for a long... Dwight, Jesus, guys, forgive us for... Could they have gone with two more... Daryl and Daryl number 2.
Well, you had, first of all, Daryl was matched up with Carol, so it was Daryl and Carol, and now it's Dwight and Daryl. They don't make it easy on us.
Dwight, Daryl, Dwegan, and Deegan.
Yeah, there's going to be a Negan, and there's going to be an Egan. Yeah. I know it.
Yeah, and a Spitty, and a Sniffy, and the other 7 dwarfs. And so, she is a stickler for the rules, and so you bet me not to kill Sherry. Sherry's the one that we saw earlier who we know is alive. Mm-hmm. So this is the whole thing, man. Dwight, but I don't think Dwight is ready to hear this story again.
No, he's not happy with it. But
the story
is Sherry does. says, don't kill Dwight, I'll marry you instead.
Yeah.
And he was like, she is super hot, so I took it, but that wasn't enough. So Dwight, he had to get the iron.
Yes.
Which means that Negan was the one who burned Dwight's face against an iron.
Against an iron.
And then married his wife.
Yes. Ironically, he used an iron, but it added wrinkles.
He used an iron and took his maiden.
Oh, well done. He went for an iron and had an open face club sandwich. That didn't make mustard. One of my so now he's a big guy, but you know, Dwight has made peace, sort of. Yeah. But that's one of the narrative arcs of this episode is that Dwight's actually losing his interest in being a good soldier, which is going to be one of the cracks that they exploit.
I get the feeling if Dwight had the chance, he would kill him on the spot.
It feels like that.
That's not a look of a guy who's cool with Negan.
No, not
but
at
he
all.
knows he can't do anything.
Yeah. Look at these two guys. This is like the world's worst metal band. It's like, we are jagged. So it's all crazy though. Negan is doing this psychological stuff, and he basically is offering him this room. Is that what he's kind of saying?
I would think that Negan's room would be a little bit more elaborate than this, and I think that what he's saying is that, you know, fall in line with me. And this room right here,
that's what I mean. Daryl's room, not.
He's offering him like what is that? Like
it's a kitchenette.
Yeah, it's a little toaster.
It's a bachelor.
I don't have a toaster. I like that.
That's a kitchen toaster. One of those little kitchen stove. What do they call that thing? A toaster oven.
It's a better deal than I've got going on.
I want one of these big old chairs. Yeah, it's not. He's got a TV. Look, that even looks like some Atari controllers right there. He's got a bar for doing hanging up his stuff. Sink for washing his wiener.
It's enough room to run a VR. You know?
Oh, yeah, he can set up his
HTC Vive up.
He can go on all kinds of adventures. All right. So Daryl though has to stand for his principles or sell out. That's the choice. What will he do? So this is the big question. Who are you?
And obviously he wants him to say, if you fall in line with me, your name is Negan.
Yes, we all know that if Daryl sells out, he says Negan, but in 3, 2, 1, he says Daryl. Were you surprised?
I mean, Daryl did say, I will not kneel, I will not bow.
I could have seen him saying Negan. Oh, I mean, the show could have, I wouldn't have been totally shocked, but like, of course he says Daryl, he's tough, he's cool, he's Daryl. And he goes, it's cool, D, man, it's all right. And this guy just made a bad choice. You know what we do with people with bad choices is we give them food and a pack of cigarettes. What do you think? Oh, that's the photo.
The picture, yeah.
I'm so stupid. So back into the cell with the vomit puddle, and Daryl is fucked.
And Dwight seems genuinely upset with him, because I don't think Dwight wants to see anything bad happen to Daryl. I think he's sympathetic.
Well, he's also tired of trying to break him.
He says, either you're going to go back into here or you're going to be left hanging on the fence. So he's yelling at him. He's like, what are you doing? Fall in line. Kneel. Yeah.
So this is like me trying to get James to wear sunscreen. Yes. James, I'm doing this for your own good. Wear sunscreen, fuckface. You're going to be burned, and then I'm going to have to rub aloe on you for hours and hours and hours. It's not aloe. It's peanut butter. But Daryl doesn't give a shit. Daryl will not kneel. He will sit down, though. And Daryl, I get why you did it. Daryl's kind of saying, this is Daryl kind of playing some psychological tricks. In fact, he's even got a little bit of confidence in his eyes, I'd say.
So he says you did it, and when he says you did it, that means you kneeled, you gave in. And he said that you did it because you were thinking of someone else. Yeah. And he says, that's why I can't. Right. So what does he mean by that? Does he mean that he doesn't have anyone else left to fight for? Or does he mean that he still has people back in Alexandria that he cares about, and because he cares about them, he can't give in?
I don't know, because he's drawing an obvious distinction between him and Dwight. Daryl doesn't, I mean, he's close to his friends, right? Or did he leave on bad, he didn't leave on bad terms.
No, I mean, they took him. I mean,
right. And, I think it's because, he's basically saying if I give in, I'm giving up on the people I care about. Yeah.
I can't join the people that brutally murdered the people I loved.
Yeah. So he's got to endure. So he's basically saying we're in the same position. Mm-hmm. You're suffering in your prison of being tortured by Negan. He's to Dwight because Negan is demeaning to him all the time because you care about somebody. And I'm suffering in this prison because I care about somebody. So they've got a lot in common. Mm-hmm. And they're going to live in the same apartment, and it's going to be called Tooled Time. So there they go. They're in the little window. Daryl walks in. Walker's growling. He's on his way outside. We see the fence. We're back to the bucket head dudes. Whatever it is they're up to. And they're pushing him with the golf club. And that's a hoe. But it
looks like at this point, what I'm assuming at this point now, which makes it a little bit more clear, is that they put the bucket on them to put them in position.
Yeah, that's what I explained to you.
Well, that's what you said at the very beginning, but you don't know that for a fact until you see this.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, have you ever watched Crocodile Hunter? They take a rag, a big T-shirt or something, and they throw it on the crocodile's eyes.
Right.
And then they're more compliant because they can't see shit, so they just sort of calm down. They go, "Oh fuck, it's dark. I'm a blind crocodile."
But this confirms it. At the beginning, we were just guessing.
Yeah. Like when I take James to the park, I always put a bucket on his head and I poke him with a stick until we get there, and then he lifts his leg on a tree, and then the city fines me $20.
Or when you steal from someone in Skyrim, you put the bucket over their head, and then you get whatever you want.
Yeah, you can in a video game Skyrim, you can turn buckets over and put on people's
Or also
heads.
works in 7-Eleven.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. But who do we find out this guy is, though, James? This guy looks familiar.
Yep. This is the guy that Dwight Pitty killed. But
yes.
But it calls into question, though, is that did he shoot him through the back?
Yes, this is an entry room.
Well, did he do that because he knew he needed to bring him back to town, that he would come back to town, which would corroborate the story that he died out there?
Well,
the bullet room betrays the fact that he killed him.
What do you mean it betrays? It means he killed him and brought him back.
Well, it means that he killed him. Negan says, "I want my stuff back."
He brought him back. So, here's how I read it. Mercy killed him because if he brought him back alive, they would have put him out here alive, and he would have had to suffer the torture and horror of being attacked by these zombies and killed that way. It's more merciful to shoot him from behind, then turn him into a zombie, than to bring him back alive and force him to face this zombie gauntlet and become a zombie.
There's still a chance.
That's a clear.
But there's still a chance Negan wouldn't kill him because he himself ran away.
Yeah.
Did far more indiscretions against Negan and still survived. Well, so he could have brokered a deal or something. Maybe he would go back to the point system or something like that. It wasn't clear cut that he was absolutely going to be killed from coming back.
Not to us, but maybe to Daryl or Dwight, it totally was. But this is probably what informed his decision to kill him, because we didn't know, the viewers did not know that he was going to be turned into a zombie when he
there's clearly a chance that would have happened to him if he had come back. But it's...
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, though. You're a very kind man. And then he just goes, fuck, this shit sucks. So this is sort of him realizing, crap, okay, he's gonna be turning, which actually surprised me, because he's just been sort of set up just as sort of this, skinny asshole who has beaten up Daryl all the time.
Yeah.
All right, so we reached the end. That's it. We did it. We made it. James, what'd you think? You like the episode?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot physically happened in this episode. It was basically the breaking of Daryl.
Yeah.
Or the attempted breaking of Daryl. And we learned some important things about Dwight. It was pretty much a whole episode about learning Dwight's backstory, seeing that he wasn't really all that bad a guy, and that he has his own emotional internal conflicts that he's dealing with as well.
Right.
And I think it's this
which gives hope to the viewer, though, for fans of Daryl to know that there's a way for him to get, exploit the surroundings.
And I think it's obvious that at some point Dwight is going to turn. He's going to be a pivotal character in the downfall of Negan, or something that's going to wound Negan in the future.
Yeah.
And this episode kind of seals the deal.
Yeah. And the fact
foreshadows.
Totally. And the fact that the guy ran off, and then he's got to be such a cruel asshole, and the woman, Sherry, that there are people that aren't completely, fully satisfied with this situation. So if they see it out, they might take it.
Yeah, so we got a peek inside Negan's world, inside the Savior's compound for the first time, and at Negan's right-hand man.
Yeah, and so there should be a new show, Negan Meets World, where he just murders everybody on the set of Boy Meets World. All right, cool. So prediction for the next episode, we're going to finally see Rick, I got to assume.
There was my mom actually watches the show, and she emailed me saying, "What do you think's gonna happen next episode?" And she was like, "What do you think Michonne's gonna do?" And what do you think Rick's gonna do? And I was like, "Well, why do you think Rick and Michonne is in this?" She goes, "Because it was in the trailer for the next episode." I was like, "Mom, I don't get that. I buy this on Amazon. I gotta watch it."
Well, thanks for mentioning it. You just ruined all of our viewers.
You didn't know that Michonne and Rick were in the show?
No, of course I knew that, but not in the next episode. I'm joking. And so that's interesting. This season's compelling, though. I think they're doing a good job establishing the various players. We've essentially just visited the 3 different groups, other than we haven't been back to Alexandria this season.
Yeah.
But we know that they're back there licking their wounds, probably adjusting to life. Maggie's probably all fucked up and still pale and shit.
Yeah, she's still got to have that baby.
Oh yeah, she's still pregnant. So maybe she'll have the baby being like, shoot it out, and the baby will fly around and death fetus.
Or it crawls out and it turns out to be Glenn. And he was like, I was hiding there.
Like Game of Thrones.
Got away.
Turns into a Glenn shadow. So all right, well,
a dumpster.
covered in a baby in zombie goo.
Oh, that's horrifying.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's pretty much it. I think this episode was very straight to the point. It had a purpose, and it did it fairly well.
Yes. Stringy-haired white dudes having emotions. So that's fun. Speaking of stringy-haired white dudes, I'm bald. And James has hair. And that's why you guys should like and subscribe to our channel. If you do enjoy these, we work hard. We got to do the animation, and it takes a lot of effort. And our reward is your attention. And so it's great to see people watching and enjoying these episodes and these things. And let us know in the comments what you liked and what you, if you have any opinions and thoughts about it. So real quick, James, though, we are totally got to get a fire, and you and I are going to enjoy what you got on your arm there.
Okay.
That's gonna feed us for days. I can't wait. Oh man, I just can't wait to get my mouth all over that thing. It is gonna be good. High five.